I actually started camming like I'd say probably like a year and a half ago. Like I kind of got hurt in a car accident. So I decided to be like, well, I didn't decide to. My doctor wanted me to be on bed rest because I was working like in real estate. So it wasn't easy for me to do that. And so I just got on the cams and I mean it just went well.
It just stuck. You didn't look back.
Yeah, it just went really well. Like I was like, wow, this is a different type of lifestyle that I had never known of.
I really like stories like yours where it's like life happened and
Yeah.
you had to find something that was suitable for you now.
Hmm.
And this showed up and it gave you an opportunity to still be able to make money um,
Yeah.
from home, which is what you needed at that time.
Yeah, I did like really, really well. I sometimes just feel like a lot of these people just need companionship and they're just lonely and they don't really have people to confine in or to talk to. So everybody wants to have somebody that you could just call and just be like, oh, so today I did this. And even if it's just like nothing, like you just like the convenience of talking to somebody. And a lot of people don't have that. So it's interesting. Like I've met some people on Jasmine that have like they can't even get erections. So it's not even about that. It's like solely about talking and like what you're doing in the day in your life and like other like anything but stripping and being sexy. So it just really depends. You have to just be open for everything.
So from your experience, it's more about just human connection than it is the sexual content.
Yeah, for me, I think because like it's very easy for me to talk to people.
They are paying to talk to you, essentially. And
Mhm.
I think that a lot of people don't understand how big of a skill that really is. That's not like a simple task to keep
Yeah.
someone interested in what you're saying.
It's kind of like social media. Like they're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling through the girls, and it's like you could be just so pretty, but like if you're really just like sitting there and there's like nothing happening, like it'll be so boring for them and like they'll just go. So like most of the time when I'm on my cams, like I'm just talking, like I just really just say random stuff because it's interesting. Like you'll stay there longer just to hear like where it's going. You know what I mean? Versus like just a hot girl sitting there saying absolutely nothing, because I've gone on there to see what my competition is. Like I want to see what other girls are doing, what I'm not doing that I should be doing.
Have you learned more about people from this site? Has this served to teach you things?
Yeah, that's funny because I was just gonna say that there's a guy I met on here that's from, I forgot exactly where, it's a random place, but he was teaching me his language. Like he would literally call me, have me pull up. He would message me like like an example of translations of how to say it in English, and he would have me read all of them. And I would just, I mean, I just, I'd have fun with it. So I would do it and he'd be like, you're natural. Like you say it so good. Like you must have been Arab in your past life. And I'm just like, oh my God, you're so funny how you're just really into this, and it's just interesting.
What about like the psychology of men? I'm interested. Have you peered into that or been able to see more
And
into that?
like, because I feel like I have them down to the T. They're just very curious and they're just wanderers. So it's kind of like that saying, curiosity killed the cat. Like they're just little curious cats. Like it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, you can be the most beautiful girl, but there's always going to be another one. So it's like, never be discouraged in this business because there's all, even if you notice other girls get more love or whatever, it's just like they haven't discovered you yet. Just wait, and then just wait. It's not even about just, I don't know, men see women to me as like, not in a mean way, but a little like disposable, you know, like there's just so many, especially on these sites. Like there literally is any type of girl you want, any race, any color, any accent. It's like you really, it's like a game. You're really fishing around for men. I mean, I'm sorry, for men, for women. So for them, it's like very exciting because it's like their dream. It's like build a woman. It's like anything they'd want to do in their life is to have their ideal woman. And on here, you know, they know we're willing to talk. So it's like
I really like what you said, which is that what one thing you've learned is that men are kind of like these curious cats. And if you know you haven't been discovered yet, it's okay. They just have to come and discover you. I love
yeah,
that.
they just haven't been discovered yet. They'll find
They'll
you.
find you.
But then it's like, you know, never get too attached either, because they're not going to stay forever. It's going to be someone else. So it's like in this industry, like you will talk to the same people for a long time. They'll come and they'll go, but you have to just have an open mind of constantly meeting and talking to brand new people and starting from the top all over again every day. So
I'm curious, what is your favorite part about your career and the industry?
my favorite part is my free time. Like I can really do whatever I want whenever I want. So it's fun. You know, I wake up whenever I want. As long as I'm disciplined and I make sure I get stuff done, or I try to at least put myself on a schedule, because it can get like where there's, you know, there's been weeks where I don't want to get on, but there's been times where like I've made up for it in the past. So I can take that time to myself, but it's interesting, you know, you can just do your own thing, but you know, you have to be on top of it because it's easy to fall off if you don't.
You know, what you just said reminded me of another model I interviewed. She said, being a cam girl is about being free.
Yeah.
And do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, basically it's being a cam girl. It's, you know, obviously I know all these girls have potential. Each and every one of us can be doing anything. And I mean, the smart girls, the really, really smart hustlers have already like invested their money in other things to do more. But yeah, I guess it just depends on you, like what your goals are and like what your limits are. And then that's how far you'll take it. But at that point, it's just like, it's all up to you. How bad do you want it? You know, some girls are like, oh, I need it right now. And they'll be on here 24/7 all day long. They have that drive, you know, versus other girls, like they just do it conveniently whenever they feel like, and you know.
So, in your perspective as a model in the industry, do you feel like being in this industry and on this platform can give you that foundation in your life to build something else? Meaning, like you mentioned, have you, you know, invested your money? Are you starting your own business? Do you feel like this is a good foundation to take your dreams to the next level?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I started my bikini. That's what my mannequin is. Those are my bikinis. So, but I mean, yes, I do. You can do anything, I feel, but like I have that mindset where it's like anything that I put my mind to and my time into, like it'll sprout regardless. It's just I have to just be selective. But yes, Jasmine has definitely put a very large amount of money in my pocket at a very short time. So I was very blessed when it happened, because I mean, like I had mentioned before, my car accident had happened. I had been not doing real estate, so that kind of was very discouraging for me, but then it also made me like not discouraged, because I was able to see like I wasn't just like barely making it. So
That's
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been in the industry for about a year and a half. I'm
Yeah.
curious, do you feel like the platform or the industry has caused you to grow in any areas?
It really has. It has its ups and downs. just because of the freedom. Like you literally have to be very disciplined because like I said, you just need to, like, because nobody's gonna tell you what to do. So you're in charge of your own paycheck. It's easy to just be like, I don't want to go to work today. And like, if you really have that choice and you don't already telling yourself that in the morning, like you probably won't. So you have to tell yourself, for me, how I usually do things so I'm productive is the night before, I'll write down my to-do list for the next day and what I need to make. And so I'll already wake up, like I already know what I need to do. So I'll just like get to it and then I'll meet my goal. And then sometimes it's like a really good day, I'll meet it by lunchtime. Usually like by lunchtime. If I start in the morning though, if I'm like up in the morning, then for sure by lunchtime I'll meet my goal. You have to have a lot of patience to cam because it's not easy to just sit down in one spot when there's nothing happening yet, you know? And it's time, you know, you have to sit through your chat room and, you know, like it's not going to immediately be lit, I guess. It's going to take some time, but you have to have patience because there's sometimes where I'll get on and I'll notice it's like a quiet day, and just because I don't feel like it, like I won't even, you know, and I'll get off. But if I get on and it's really good and then I'm, you know, just starts going well, it'll be more motivating for me to get back on. So there's girls on here that are so disciplined that they do not care. Like they will sit through being bored and they'll sit through it. They will sit right through it. And it's so amazing to me because like I can't do that. But there are girls who can. So, you know, the site needs those girls who are like on 24/7, you know?
Absolutely. So I kind of want to go back to something you said, which was that if you start in the morning, usually you're reaching your goal by lunchtime. Are you talking about financial goal for the day?
Yeah, my financial goal. Yes.
That is really impressive.
I know, right? Like it's crazy. Like sometimes I'm just like, wow, like if you were so stubborn and if you treated it like a real job, you would be making like, I don't want to say numbers on here, but I mean, it's way more than like the average household. Like it's like the 2-in-1 just by yourself, you know? So it's kind of, I mean, better than that though. You would be doing better than that.
The entrepreneurial mindset. I gotcha.
Yeah.
I know, because that's the thing. A lot of cam models are just these savvy businesswomen. I mean, that's the honest to God truth of it. Savvy businesswomen. Even it's really interesting because the technique you said you used where you write down your goals and your to-do list at night before going to sleep. I've heard of like major millionaires and billionaires doing that, saying that they like
that's essential. That's essential. Like if I don't do that, I can promise you I will wake up the next day and do whatever I want. I won't wake up with like, oh, I need to do this. Cause I don't know, like if you know, it's like our mind kind of like pre-programs in the nighttime. And then when you do that, it like, it's just, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but it like programs your mind. So while you're sleeping, you're like knowing what you need to do. So when you wake up, you're like, oh, I know what I need to do. And you just go to it just to get it over with. But I have noticed if I don't do that, I will wake up late. I will get ready around 2. I'll still get on, but I know that night I have to be on like in the nighttime, and then midnight, it's going to be one of those nights versus me getting up early, taking care of everything, and then having the rest of the day to myself. So
the dream.
Yeah.
So that technique though is I have heard it many places, all from very successful people. And I also did read it in a book. But you're absolutely right, because our subconscious mind, our subliminal mind is kind of running everything. And when you tell it right before it's going to sleep, which is when the subconscious is very active, like, this is what I want to do tomorrow, by writing it down, it says, okay. And like you said, while you're sleeping, it's programming your whole system to do what you wrote down, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
fascinating.
It is fascinating. It's fun and it's interesting. So that's the best part of it all, just and then with there's times too where I'll meet my goal like earlier. So I'll hire it. Like I'll just keep going or something, like if I'm in the mood. So it'll just be just a good day. It'll just be a really good day.
That's a good day. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
Obviously with this industry and this career, as you've mentioned, comes financial rewards. And I wanted to talk about any freedoms that you've been able to get or luxuries that you've been able to get that you're really proud of that you weren't able to get before.
My lease had ended in my apartment, so I had to find a whole new apartment, and I had to move, of course. But I feel like that's something that would have happened regardless. But considering, the type of money I was making, I was just able to get something like a lot bigger. So that was really good. That was cool. So I have a 3-bedroom now, and yeah, it's just an office, a studio.
I want to talk to you about your experience and relationship with the members. Do you have any members that you really feel like a true bond or connection to?
I do, actually. I do. Recently, one of them, I had to cut him off. We're in a fight right now. You're like, oh my God. A lot of them are very, very just lonely. Like they live in places like where it's like there's not, gorgeous women like on Jasmine that they can just like talk to. And even if there are women, it's like it seems that the girls here are more interesting and interested in talking to them. So they rather spend their time and money on here. So those relationships are the best. I love those. I love them. I love it when the guys know their limit. I love it when they know when to stop. We deal with having to be more grounded and put our foot down because they will try to like walk all over us. Give me your Snapchat, give me your Instagram, give me your phone number. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, excuse me, you met me here. Like, why would you think like, why would you talk to you there? Like, what made you think that you would get that interaction? So I've met people on here where he had like these really rich parents, and he would talk to me on Jasmine, and he was old enough, but he still lived with his parents. He was just one of those, like this rich guy, like with his parents going to college. And he would stay on the phone with me for hours, and he would literally just leave the cam. Like there'd be times he'd fall asleep, and like, I mean, I wouldn't hang it up, but he'd get back up, and then he'd be like, are you still there? And he'd be like, good, what are you doing? And I'd be like, wow, like this guy is seriously like just letting the camera go. And then there'll be times he'll be like, I'm playing a game, like, hold on. And then he'll like ask me questions like, have you played this? Like, what do you think about this? Like, if I'm just his friend, it's just strange.
It just sounds like a virtual girlfriend experience that he was almost having you be in. That's like something you would do in a relationship, like your partner's on the couch, but you're playing a game, and it's like, oh,
crazy. We're on the couch. We were like laying right next to each other. Like he even told me like, put your phone. Like I've actually gone on dates on Jasmine. This one's awkward. I don't think I've ever told anyone this one, but we've gone on dates like we've poured up alcohol and like done shots at the same time. And that's funny because I never really done that one before, but like ever, like in like, I mean, that was just very strange. And then the guy was like, can you put your phone like right next to you? Like we're sitting next to each other. And he was like, take another shot. And then he'll be like, take one next to me. Or like, it's so funny. Like he just kept having me like move the phone in like different areas. Like if we were like really together.
What is that? How does that make you feel to know that you are literally giving someone so much joy and connection? It seems, like you mentioned, a lot of these men are isolated or potentially lonely or whatever is going on in their life situation that's preventing them from having this connection, and you're providing it for them. How does that make you feel?
It's amazing. Like it's honestly truly amazing. It's super fun to know that. Like, I feel happy that I can help them, or that they don't you know, they're obviously very lonely people, but I'm happy that in that moment they're not lonely. And I just remind them, you know, call me next time you're lonely.
Yeah.
So because you're not lonely, or, you know, just to keep that bond going.
What are some of the emotional rewards that you get from working in this industry?
Well, just like good energy, you know, it's good to just be there for people and just be nice sometimes. And then, well, of course, we're always getting paid for it. So it's like it's a good incentive for us to know that we're doing good and good is coming back in return.
You feel happy and good about the work you do.
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah, I mean, it has its moments where the guys can be very aggressive, but like I said, it's always your chat, so you can take control of it. Most of these guys, a lot of them are not married, but the ones who want to come on here and have fun, you know, be on a little virtual strip show, like those guys are married. And I feel like, you know, you're potentially saving a marriage, because, you know, this man is already, he's there, you know, he's already uninterested in his wife. He's already seeking elsewhere, you know, at least he's not going out in person. So at least it's stopping here. So it's like, you know, for me, I feel like, yeah, like I'm saving marriages, you know, like, you know, I wouldn't be mad at my husband if I knew he was getting on a site like this. It's just because it's like, it's virtual and everyone needs some sort of, you know, just this curiosity. It's just a little, it's a little, how can I explain it? It's just like everybody needs a place to be comfortable and curious, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah, no. So what you're saying is basically, you know, when a man's curiosity has already been aroused, it's
Yeah.
already there,
Yeah.
or his needing something new or spice or whatever it is, what you're saying is like, listen, that can be fulfilled perfectly here online, where we know you're never going to meet him in person. It doesn't go further than this. And everyone knows the deal here. And so now he's fulfilled his curiosity or whatever it is, and he can remain in this marriage because he's still able to get what he needs.
Yes.
What would your message be to people who do have a negative idea, judgment, stigma, whatever about the site or the industry? What would your message be to them?
My message would be, you don't know what you don't know. So you just don't know what you don't know. Like if it's something you don't have any knowledge in, experience, like you can't speak much of it. You don't have any idea. People associate it always with porn, which of course I could 100% see that, because, you know, you do FaceTime and you do, some girls, they do have a lot of fun, but it's not technically porn, because porn is like you're being recorded and it's a, you know, you have a skit that you got to play out this exact skit, and it's not that, it's all live. Like this is just me, I'm just the girl next door. It's just like, you know, it's just, I can't explain it. It's not like that. It's a lot different. It's more of like it's its whole industry. I can see why it's whole separate industry, because it is. It's nothing associated with a strip club. It's nothing associated with, you know, escorting. It's not associated with like porn. It's our own content, our own, you know what I mean? So it's like no one made us sign any, well, I mean, we did sign that it's confidential, and obviously that this is we're independent contractors. It's not like yeah, we're not being forced to do anything. And you know, if you know anything about the porn industry, there's a lot of people being forced to do things. So that's something that's not really talked about. I won't talk deep on that because, like I said, I don't know what I don't know. I'll live by what I said. But still, you know, like it's just, it's safe. It's safe. If I can say anything, it's safe. Like you can knock it as much as you want. It won't go away. It's just something, you know, just be, just not don't even learn about it if you're not interested. Just, oh well, focus on something else, you know. From my experience, Jasmine is the number one site that you can make money off the fastest, you know. You can 100% make money on Jasmine in your first day. Other sites take some time. I mean, I don't know, it just depends on you, but I just think it's just because how many people know of Jasmine, you guys have a lot of traffic on your site. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.